name's Stephen McKay. I'm the owner of the military vehicles here at the Norfolk Tank Museum. It's a new museum. We've been open a couple of years. We're now in our third year. We're open on the first and third Sunday of the month. We open from 10 until 5, where you can come and have a look, and on occasion you can get to climb inside of some of these exciting vehicles. It's buying one vehicle, doing the research on that vehicle, finding spares for it that just leads on and opens up new doors. Someone says to you, oh, you're looking for this part for the vehicle? Yeah, you buy that and they say, I've got a Centurion tank for sale. Do you want to buy the Centurion tank? And you go home and think, no, I can't afford a Centurion tank. But it just grabs you, and a few weeks later you're back on the phone. Is it still up for sale? Yeah. And now I have 3 Centurion tanks, a Chieftain, Saladin armoured car and other numerous vehicles that go with it, uniforms, deactivated guns, and it's now open as a museum. I started when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, collected cap badges, bits of uniform at the car boots, sails, gas masks, and when I turned 16 I progressed on, bought a Land Rover, then bought an armoured car. And as you can see, the collection's here now. This particular Centurion here, we rescued her from a farm down in Kent. And when she was sold off from the army, a farmer had bought it and had it as a bit of a toy really. He'd had it for 3 or 4 years and been running around the harvest fields. And then sadly she wouldn't start anymore and got towed into an orchard and sat in an orchard for 18 years before being sold on and me purchasing it. And when we first got it, all the engine decks were seized open. We've had to free them off. The turret hatches and everything, just being out in the weather for so many years, had seized solid. So we've spent a lot of labour intensive time freeing working parts off first before we can actually get on and restore it. When you're unbolting stuff, you're taking stuff off, you've got to be so careful. Can you imagine what would happen if you're actually doing some welding or heating on the vehicle and there's live ammunition behind it? Now can you imagine the noise that would be generated with a bullet rattling around the turret, alone injuries if you got caught by it. We've found live 30 cal ammunition, which is from the machine gun in the bottom of the turret. Now, you've got to be really careful when you're working on these vehicles. They're not just toys. They've actually seen service, they've done what they're designed to do. This particular vehicle, the Centurion Avery, I purchased this in 1997. It's got a lovely story. We bought it from Wales, brought it all the way back to Norfolk with the intention of unloading it in the yard. And when we got it back to Norfolk, it wouldn't fit. The lorry couldn't get in the yard, so we had to unload it around the corner. It took 11 hours to bring it back into the yard, pushing and pulling it with another digger. We blocked the road from 4:30 in the afternoon till 11 o'clock that night. Got soaked through to the skin, but she's now back here and she's now up and running. We took it to a show, it's got to be 4 or 5 years ago now, and a particular lorry firm come along and collected us. But the trailer which the lorry firm had brought along was brand new, never been out of the shed. It was the first load he'd ever loaded up, and we put 60 tonne on the back of his trailer. And after we'd loaded up, we'd realised that the two little stabiliser legs on the back of the trailer, we'd bury them into the tarmac. It came out again, but we left 2 nice little square holes in the tarmac from putting 60 tonne over the rear axle.